everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully you can all hear me and see me okay. Welcome to our week number 6 live stream for my intro psych class. I see a bunch of you getting logged in and getting your names in the chat. Hopefully everything's coming through. All right, can someone let me know on your end? Can you hear me and see me okay? Just to make sure. It's nice and quiet right now with they've working on our roof. So if you start hearing like weird banging noises in the background, I apologize for that. Perfect. Okay, good. I'm glad everything is working. I feel like ever since we had all of the fires that the internet connection hasn't been as good. I know a couple of the towers burnt down. So I feel like the internet has been a little more unstable. So I'm glad everything is coming through and working okay at the moment. As I said, we're in week number 6. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have going on here. We're in weeks 5 and 6. So everything from weeks 5 and 6 is due by this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And last week we obviously talked about week number 5. So since we are in week 6, let's go ahead and look at what we have going on this week. But of course, remember that if you didn't do the stuff from last week, you still have all of that is due by this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So this week we're looking at chapters 11 and 12. Again, kind of still in our very core topics of the intro psych course. So we're looking at human development and personality, chapters 11 and 12. So as always, you'll want to do 3 things for each chapter, right? Read the chapter in the textbook, read through the lecture and watch any videos and click on any links in there. And then of course, watch the lecture video where I am lecturing to some PowerPoint slides. So make sure you do that for all of these 11 and 12 materials. We do, of course, have 2 discussions this week, like usual. So let's go ahead and take a look at those together. So for discussion 11, as always, you have my instructions at the top, followed by a video. For this one, related to human development, you're going to listen to 2 songs about being a teenager. And they're both country songs, so maybe you get your country fix for the day or week or year, depending on your country music preference. But you'll click on this link and watch those 2 songs, paying attention to the lyrics. And then you're also going to find some greeting cards. And you have some choices with this. You can go to like a Hallmark or a Target or a Walmart or a grocery store or a CVS. If you don't feel comfortable going out and looking for them, you could probably find them online just as easily. But you're going to be looking at greeting cards targeting turning 30, 40, and 50, and then late adulthood, so like 60, 70, 80, or just aging in general. So after you've listened to your songs and you've done your field work either virtually or going out actually in person, you're going to answer the following questions. So number 1, how do the 2 songs, 15 and Letter to Me, incorporate or demonstrate some of the cognitive, social, and physical milestones of being a teenager? Now, I'm really looking that you're specific here. So what I want you to do is take some of the lyrics, like specific lyrics, and link them to specific topics from the chapter. So I'm looking that you can kind of take the song and identify some lyrics and connect them to the actual topics that we've covered. Definitely be specific. This part is worth the most points, so spend some time here. You're also going to kind of comment on what were the general messages, tone, and focus of the cards for each range of age that you looked at. What are some of the attitudes and stereotypes that you observed about getting older or aging? And then just for fun, if you had to personally be stuck at one age for the rest of your life, what age would you pick and why? And if you would like, you're always welcome to upload images of some of the cards or even a video of the card. A lot of them are often quite comical, totally up to you. But again, you can find cards in person or you can find them online, whichever one is easier for you. And then don't forget when you're done to also reply to a classmate. Oh, look, Janet, I love it. You put a bunch of pictures in here. I love it. So don't forget to reply to my post and then also to a classmate. Show off your knowledge and understanding. Really make sure that you elaborate in your responses. For discussion number 12, you're going to be looking at chapter 12 on personality. So as always, you have my instructions followed by my video. And so for this one, you're going to be kind of looking at your personality. How would you describe yourself? You're going to take a little quiz. So number 1, if you had to describe what has made you the person you are today, in other words, what has shaped your personality, What are some key contributors for you? I'd like you to share a minimum of 2 factors that you feel have heavily contributed to your personality, and be sure to explain how or why they've contributed to who you are. So this could be genetics, it could be a person, it could be an event, it could be, anything that has contributed heavily to your personality. It could be people. Number 2, in the spirit of the trait perspective, I'd like you to describe yourself in 5 words. This one's kind of fun to do. And then as a follow-up to that, you're going to ask 2 different people who know you fairly well and maybe know you in different roles to describe you in 5 words. So if somebody in your life, you could ask a parent, a sibling, a partner, a friend, a teacher, whoever you want who knows you well. Ask them to describe you, and then you're going to compare the 5 words that they used versus the ones that you did. So 2 people. You're also going to take one of these personality quizzes. I have kind of a range here. The first one's more like for fun. The last 3 are a little bit more like valid and reliable. If you want, you're welcome to take more than one, of course. But you're going to take a personality quiz and then you're going to comment on it along with your results. So make sure you share your results and your reactions. Really, again, as always, elaborate in your responses. Make sure that you're giving me all that beautiful knowledge and details and information so that you don't miss out on any points. And then don't forget to also reply to a classmate to get those 2 points for a peer response. Those are the 2 things that you always have, right? So 2 chapters, 2 discussions. You do have your 3rd exam this week. Hard to believe it, but after this week, we only have 2 weeks left in our class. So you have exam number 3, and remember all the exams are on the ebook site, of course. And so you have a study guide underneath it. If it's on the study guide, it will be on the test. This one's on chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12. So everything since the last exam, everything from this 2 weeks. So make sure that you know all of these terms. Again, as I've suggested, I would probably write or type out all of this and have it in front of me. That way it's easy to reference during the exam. But hopefully by now you kind of have a good idea of how to prepare and how to study. A lot of you have been doing really well on the test, so just keep doing what you're doing if it's working for you. And if you wish you were doing a little better, again, consider typing or writing out the study guide and having it in front of you. As always, I would really encourage you to not wait till Sunday night to take the exam. It seems like when you do that, like the internet goes out, the power goes out, like something happens. It always seems like something happens when you wait to the last minute. So try it and take it earlier in the week, earlier in the day, whatever you can do. Make sure that you set yourself up for success and that you're ready and organized before you begin. So you have good internet, you have 75 minutes to spare, you've studied, you've prepared for the test, all the things to make sure that you do as good as possible. And again, a lot of you have been doing a fantastic job. So if that's the case, keep up the great work. So use the study guide to prepare. Remember that the scores don't come over automatically. So on Monday, when I grade all the discussions, I'll bring over your scores as well. I will, of course, post a recording of this later, which maybe some of you are watching right now. And don't forget, as I mentioned, if you haven't done everything from week 5, make sure that you go back and complete that as well, including those discussions and that self-assessment and all that kind of stuff. I do have a couple of reminders for you. We're kind of in that, like, in the groove of things where everything's kind of short and sweet. So I typed this up. A lot of you have fallen off of the subscription status. Again, it was only good for 30 days. And so I think a lot of you maybe fell off and didn't renew. If you have a chance to double check your subscription, or if you're watching this later, make sure you're subscribed. That way you can get that extra credit. Also, don't forget that we will have a live stream next week. So let me put that here in the chat. If we're looking ahead, last week of February next week, I can't believe that we're already almost through February. It feels like spring today. It's like 70s and I'm missing the rain, I won't lie. Our next Twitch live stream will be on Wednesday, February 26th at 11:45 a.m. Okay, so just like this week, we will have a live stream next week at 11:45 a.m. And we'll talk about some feedback from these 2 weeks we're in right now, along with going over week number 7. We'll have 2 more live streams before we're done with the class, couple more opportunities to earn a few more points. And let's see here. I also sent out, just as a quick reminder, I did send out a message about some self-care pictures. If you saw that on Canvas, I made a book, which obviously like you have and you'll be reading next week if you haven't been looking at it already. But I have a book that has a bunch of self-care images in it, and a lot of them are from students. I'd love to replace the ones that aren't from students with some student-made work. So if you're interested in being in that book, you're also going to be doing a self-care activity next week. So it might be a little bit of like a double dipping, if you will, but I'll talk about that more next week when we get there. But I sent that out. If you're interested, you can always email me, which would be fantastic. Otherwise, let me give you the extra credit question for this week, something related to human development, which is one of our topics. So this is the week number 6 Twitch extra credit question. I'll put it here in the chat. What are Piaget's 4 stages of cognitive development? Describe and give one element or feature of each stage. So what are Piaget's 4 stages of cognitive development? Describe and give one element or feature of each stage. And when you're ready to do that, you'll go to optional Twitch extra credit number 6, since we're in week 6. Click on that. And then up at the top, you can click on Start Assignment, where it brings up that little box where you can type your response. And when you're ready, you'll hit Submit, and you can get your little confetti burst and stars. Oh, I've never seen stars before. Very exciting. So if you want to do that, again, those 2 points are going to add up. We have a couple more opportunities, this one and then 2 more. So I hope you're taking advantage of that. I know we're kind of short and sweet, like 15 minutes today, but we got through everything relatively quickly. I will hang out for a little while if you have any questions for me. I'm more than happy to answer them for you if it's related to the exam or anything from this week. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the country music fix. I actually like country music quite a bit, but I hope you enjoy the country music fix and looking at some greeting cards. I look forward to reading all your responses. And I will hang out for a few minutes if you have any questions for me. I am going to minimize my video so I'm just not staring at myself, which is awkward, but I will be here. Otherwise, I will hope to see you all next week as we get close to the end of our time. No country music, huh? You know what's funny is I was never a big country music fan until I was like in my 20s, and then it turned around a little bit. My partner loves country music, so I kind of do now as well. My kids hate it though. My kids are always like, oh, not country again. They're not big fans of country music. But oh, look, at least one person can't wait. So perfect. Unless that was sarcasm, but either way. Wise children, I love it. Yeah, they're not a big fan, but I am. I think I kind of like everything. I'm a big fan of just music in general, and I like it all. So all right, so I'm going to minimize this, but again, I will hang out if you do have any questions. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves and hang in there. Enjoy the nice weather if this is weather that you enjoy. And I will hope to see you all next week. You too. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. Thank you too. Have a wonderful week, everyone. They're pretty close, right? So all of them, you asked how many questions are on the exam. So they typically range anywhere between like 67 to 75 questions. So I think this one is right in that same range. There's a couple of like matching questions, but I think it's right in the like 72 to 73 questions, Cole. So that way you can plan for it. Generally, you have like roughly a minute or so per question or a little more. hoping that the true false ones are pretty fast. But people have been finishing in an average of about like 56 to 57 minutes. So hopefully it's plenty of time. I believe there's like 72, 73 questions or so on the test. I hope that helps. Of course. You're welcome. And I am still here if any of you have any questions.